Hi, good morning, everyone. I just want to kind of go over a different alternative to using sage or palo santo smoke um, for cleansing your aura, for cleansing your home or your energy, your crystals, or whatever it is that you may want to clear. A couple months back, I did basically the small version of this. This is what it looks like, and it's basically a smudge spray. So if you are sensitive to smoke, or you have animals or children that are sensitive, or even if you have asthma, or if you're just in an establishment that will not permit that, this is actually a great way to still get your cleansing and all your great benefits from it. Um, so here we go. Um, Basically, all that you need is a glass jar and the ingredients to put in the jar to make your smudge spray. So I have a dark blue jar. You can also use the clear. Because we are using essential oils with this darker color bottle, actually preserves the oils better, prevents the sunlight from entering as much. So this is why we're going for a darker one. Some smudge sprays, you can make it really simple, meaning you just put some water, some essential oils, and a crystal in there, and boom, you're done. I like to do a little bit more. I like to put a little more intent into it, and I just like things to look pretty. That's just me. Um, you can use whatever water you want, but it's preferred to use rainwater or distilled water. In my case, I have moon water from like 2 eclipses ago that I still gotta use up. So basically, if I can get this open, there we go. So I have that open. Um, in my case, I want a smudge spray that will not just only clear energy, because that's what sage does. Sage will go ahead and clear energy, but it clears all energy. Like you literally have a blank slate. Um, so I want to not only clear the energy, but I also want to put in good energy. I want good energy. I want peace. I want love. I want happiness. I want abundance. Excuse me, and protection. So we're going to use a couple different ingredients for that. Let's start by cleansing our space. If I can get this on. Okay, that's not working, so we are just going to use that. In this case, this one I don't want to use because it's going to be a GIF. Okay, so I just have a little bit, tiny bit lit. You just go ahead, cleanse your space, put the intentions you want in there. And then you can go ahead, cleanse your bottle from the inside. Okay, so what we are going to start with is, actually we're going to start with the ingredients we're going to put in before the water and the liquids. So in my case, I'm going to do a various amount of different things. We're going to use some palo santo shavings. We're going to use some sage leaves. This is the white sage, not the sage you cook with. I'm going to add in a little bit of pine needles in there since we're around the holidays. Some calendula, lavender buds, and some rose petals. And the reason for all this, each plant have their properties, and for the most part, all of these do give protection, um, as well as just a general clearing of the energy. So we're going to start with Palo Santo, and what I like to do, I like to take one of these little sticks, and what I'll do, I'll shave little pieces, so like that I'm not putting the whole stick in. So here we go. So we go ahead, we start by putting in these little shavings. I had this done from last night, kind of ready to save time for this video. And what's good with Palo Santo? First of all, it's known as the holy wood. It's grown in Peru as well as different areas of South America. But what's nice with Palo Santo, it has a little bit of a sweeter smell than the sage. It's also good for repelling mosquitoes. It also is great for relieving pain. You can take it as, you can apply the oil mixed with a carrier oil onto different areas of the body. You can also use it for relaxation. The smell alone will get you relaxed. And it's a natural remedy for cold and flus, as well as asthma, headaches, anxiety. So you can actually make tea with this. I just found this out a little while ago. You can make tea with this, and you would just take some shavings off of this, make about a teaspoon for 1 cup to 2 cups of water, and you boil it. However, and then you can add your honey and your sweetener and whatnot, however you prefer to have your tea. However, I did read that it is not good if you are pregnant or if you are nursing. It's not recommended. Alrighty, so we have that in there. We're going to go ahead and add some sage, and like I said, a white sage, it's more or less your common sage bundles that you will find around. For clearing, I personally recommend if you can find some white sage seeds and start to plant them, because sage is being cultivated so much around the world. There's a lot of places that are not sustainable sources. You definitely want to be conscious of that, where you're getting your sage from. So just get some seeds, have it growing in your backyard, just like you would do your rosemary or your other seasonings and whatnot, and have a little consciousness towards Mother Earth. Sage, it actually, when it's burned, as well as when it's released in oil form, so if you put it in your diffuser, it actually increases the oxygen supply to the brain, and it will actually also change the molecular structure of the air and the energy, which causes that clearing and cleansing effect. Sage, the oil, you can mix it with a carrier oil, and it's a natural antispasmodic substance. Basically, you can use it for your period cramps. You would put a couple drops on a carrier oil, you can rub it on your lower abdomen, and it helps with those muscle spasms basically, and it will also help to regulate your estrogen. However, if you are pregnant, do not use clearly sage oil. It can bring on labor basically. So just stay away from that for a little bit. Just stick to your lavender. Let's see. We're also going to add some lavender in there for some protection, for purification, peace, love, but also to bring this really nice relaxing effect. Calendula. We're going to add some calendula buds in there. Now, calendula also is great for cleansing the aura. It's antifungal, it's antibacterial. It brings protection, love, happiness, and all those wonderful things, but it also helps to heighten your psychic awareness and your psychic powers. So, same thing with the rose. The rose also will heighten psychic powers, and it's great for love, protection, and health. Also, what rose does, it helps speed up things. So if you want to use rose in your rituals and your spells or whatnot, it actually helps to speed things up. And pine, because it's the holidays, I had this little bit of pine here. Now, if we are doing something to, apply to the body, I'm not sure I would do it in this form because of the resin in here, but because it's just a spray bottle mainly for cleansing my home and different areas, I feel it's okay to put this in. If it was something for the body, I would look more for essential oils. And this is also great for protection, for healing, as well as resilience. So we're going to go ahead and put that in there. We're going to go ahead and put in the little buds. Now, if you have a clear glass, this looks really, really pretty. In my case, I know it'll be in there. And to remove these, once you're done with your spray bottle and you want to remove them and do a different concoction. Basically, if you have just a long pair of tweezers, will work just to remove all these items. I wouldn't suggest putting in a whole lot of stuff, like really packing the bottle, because you want to have more of your spray, and also you don't want to really clog. I'm not too sure what you would call this, a little pipe. Yeah, you wouldn't want to clog that really. Okay, so now we have our main ingredients. I'm also putting in a piece of black tourmaline. Black tourmaline is great for grounding. It repels negative energies. It's also great to work with your root chakra. So we're just going to put that in there. In this smaller one, I have a bunch of tiny little pieces in there. So, okay, so now for the oils. We have Palo Santo oil, we have clearly sage oil, and I'm mainly doing that just so I can have more fragrance in my spray, because this alone will infuse with your water or moon water and it will create a nice smell, but I like to have a little bit more. That's just me personally. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and do 6 drops of clearly sage. If I can get it to work. Just bear with me here. And the main reason also why I'm using spray, I do have a 4-month-old, and I find that, well, she sneezes a lot, and the spray kind of works a little better. My dogs also are not a fan of the spray. They kind of run, from the smoke, they kind of run away from it, even though if I chase them trying to sage them down. So here I'm going to put 4 drops. And then we're going to add 4 drops of lavender too. Okay, now I also put witch hazel in my sprays. If I am doing something for the body, I have an organic witch hazel that I use, because this is more for a room spray. In that case, I'm okay with just a regular generic one. Typically what I would do, and also the witch hazel has its own properties in there. Actually, it has been used for many years as medicine, and it also has a tiny little bit of alcohol, which makes me feel okay to have the alcohol. First of all, it helps to draw out negativity, but also it will help prevent any kind of growth and bacteria and whatnot in this solution. So typically I would do 1/4 witch hazel and the rest the moon water. And I leave just a tiny little space. I don't fill it all the way, only because once we put this in, we don't want it to overspill. And if I feel once I spray that I want more fragrance, then I would go ahead and add a couple more drops of the oil, but I think this more or less is okay. And then last but not least, now this is good the way it is, because you're using all of these ingredients for the intent of protection, purification, cleansing, love, happiness, so you have that. But I just like to go ahead and Reiki my concoctions per se. Just go ahead and add in some really good positive energy in there. that's more or less how I do my sage spray. And I actually had quite a few people that asked me how I did it, so here you go. This is how I did it. You can make it your own. Like I say, very simple, or if you want to go the extra mile, some people put glitter in it too. You name it. Alright, thank you guys. Oh, and by the way, drink lots and lots and lots of water with the upcoming eclipse on the 14th and the new moon. We have some really nice energies coming up, and we are going to have a really nice time being able to manifest 3 times, 4 times, 5 times more than we normally can manifest. Alright guys, happy drinking your water, that is. Bye!